Welcome to the Positively Joyful Productivity Show, where joy isn't a reward for productivity, it's the secret ingredient. I'm your host, Nicole Louise, coach, wife, and dog mom. This is a no-kid zone by design, created for women who are child-free, childless, or an empty nester embracing your next chapter. You all belong here. Each week, you'll hear inspiring stories from women around the world and learn tools, mindset shifts, and practical strategies for living a joyful life. You'll also discover the science behind why focusing on joy fuels focus, motivation, and lasting productivity. Let's get inspired, get organized, and create a life full of freedom, focus, and joy. Hello, and welcome back to the Positively Joyful Productivity Show. I'm very happy to have today's guest with me. I have Victoria Quance. So, Victoria, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Yes, I'm so happy to have you as well. So, to my listeners, Victoria is founder, director, and CEO of VQ Lifestyle Hub. And her business, she is into all things manifestation. Yes?
Yeah, love manifestation amongst many other things. Yeah, manifestation's my bag.
Yeah, so I love having these conversations because we're going to kind of tie in the AI piece of that
Mm,
today, talk about manifestation, talk about AI. So I'm happy to I'm always happy to mesh these two things together because when you think of them on the surface, you wouldn't necessarily put them together in a sentence, let alone an entire conversation. So let's get into it, shall we?
yeah, amazing.
All right. So Victoria, you call yourself an advanced manifestation teacher, blending science, spirit, and strategy.
Mhm.
So, for my listeners, can you break down what that actually looks like in practice?
Yeah, for sure. So for me, when I first started like delving into manifestation and even sort of delving into spiritual aspects as well, I was very much a bit of a skeptic.
Mhm.
And I needed to know, like, well, how does it work and why does it work? And is this just fluff and like nonsense and just something that's really nice to believe in? And I think that comes from like my background in psychology as well. Like, I like to know how things work and how we tick.
Mhm.
So I started exploring in that way to bring those components together. But then what I found from actually implementing them all together is what you end up with is like a holistic approach that helps you sort of handle your mind and like your brain and how your brain's working as a human, your body and like your physiological responses to things and feeling safe and actually being able to hold and sustain what you manifest so you don't just flit it away again.
Mhm.
And also your soul. So your soul is obviously here for a different reason to what your purpose and what your ego is perhaps going to try and convince you otherwise. So I think when
Mhm.
you bring all pieces of the puzzle together, you get a really nice overview and it all just slots together. Really lovely.
Yeah, I love that. And then I also love how you said that it's like a holistic approach,
Mm.
to yourself because once you get into it and you start learning, it really is. And it's so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, Victoria, you've started using AI tools like
Mm.
ChatGPT and Copilot to help your students. I am so curious about this. So, what inspired you to bring AI into something as personal and spiritual as manifestation work?
I think for me, it was looking for a bit of a quicker way. So I'm all about, being really efficient with time. I am incredibly organized. And I think that our time is so valuable. And I was just exploring, I was like, we use AI for so many different things. Could we use it to help us when it comes to our manifestation as well?
Mhm.
So I started with exploring like my own sort of practices, if you like. So I would often do things like scripting or like EFT and like tapping.
Mhm.
And I thought, I wonder, could AI help me with this? And it took
Hmm.
a little bit of like training AI and getting AI to understand, what it is that I'm wanting to achieve, what it is that I want to manifest.
Mhm.
But it was really insightful in also suggesting what might be in the way, which I thought was really cool. But
Hmm.
also it would then create like scripts for me to use.
Oh,
So I could then record them and I've got my own subliminals.
that's really cool.
Yeah, and it took like a fraction of the time. Like the training side of it took a while because obviously you've still got to get clear on what it is that you want to manifest and what,
Mhm.
you want to remove from your subconscious or what you want your tapping script to achieve or your meditation to achieve. But once you had that, it would then create the most beautiful scripts and like stories, which, if any of you've done like scripting or like you've written out your perfect day for like the millionth time, like it does get repetitive and it does get time consuming and then it feels like a chore and that's not the frequency that you want to be in.
Mhm.
Whereas this, it's then done and you can just listen to it.
Oh, that's incredible. And so I've kind of done the same thing. Like I just started wondering, like you hear AI for business all the time. Like that's the common connection. And I started wondering, what can AI do for me in my personal life? Like how can I make things better, faster, easier at home? And so same thing, I just started playing with it and now here I am. The podcast is, kind of sharing all of that and other things, but yeah, it's really cool. And once you just start playing with it and talking
Yeah.
to it, the capability and the speed at which
Yeah.
things can happen is just incredible.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's knowing how to utilize that so it helps you
mhm.
rather than like being afraid of it or being worried about using it. I think, seeing it as like your assistant,
Yes,
it can
yeah,
be it's so helpful.
absolutely. And another thing that I talk about and that I love about ChatGPT is that it's so easy to use.
Mhm.
Like, you can't break it. You're just typing in stuff, you
No,
know?
it's not happened yet.
Yeah. So you can't do anything wrong. It's just you're typing stuff in. And so the more you use it and the more you play with it,
Yeah.
the more you start to learn too. And it's really powerful.
Yeah, for sure. And you get used to like how to train it effectively. But it's like, if you had an assistant who was a human, like you'd still train them. You'd train a team member. So it's the same. You've just got to train it.
Exactly. Yep. Beautifully said. So you mentioned using AI to create your personalized EFT scripts,
Hmm.
meditations, and subliminals. So, how does having these tools tailored to you or your client help someone tap deeper into their subconscious compared to other tools?
Yeah, so I love these tools and what I always encourage my clients to do, although there's often some resistance, is to record it themselves.
Mm,
So I can provide, a personalized subliminal for you, but it's going to be my voice. Whereas if you can get over that like ick of listening to your own voice, which I know a lot of us have because we're like, do I sound like that? Is that my voice? But
yes.
when you do that, and when you have like a meditation or you have even like a story. So one of the ones I listen to, it's almost like a hypnosis, but I think that's just because I get so relaxed listening to it. But it is talking me through like my dream day, if you like.
Mhm.
But it's in my voice. So even if my mind wanders off somewhere else, which happens to a lot of us when we're trying to meditate or to do these things, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter because your brain is going to recognize that's my voice. And your brain therefore trusts it
Mhm.
and it will absorb whatever it's telling it. It will absorb that and it'll be like, oh, okay. And it recognizes it and it takes it as truth rather than, if you're listening to a meditation track and it's someone that you don't know, you might not find that you relate to it as much. And I know sometimes I've been really picky with like guided meditations. Like if I don't like the voice, I can't
Yes.
relax and I can't get into it. But if it's your voice and you get over that initial ick,
Mhm.
then, your mind can wander as much as it wants to do, but it's talking to you on that subliminal subconscious level. You can even fall asleep
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter because your brain's like, oh, I'm listening to me.
Mhm.
I'm going to take it on board.
Yeah, that's powerful. And it's interesting. I recently saw, I think it was like an Instagram reel, but it was somebody speaking about how talking to yourself actually can rewire your neural pathways. And I'm like, oh, that is so cool. And so this, I imagine, helps you do that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And even just vocalizing what we want. So like with the EFT scripts, for example, when you're vocalizing and saying what you want to release and let go, that in itself is a release.
Hmm.
Writing it is a release as well, for sure. But if you can vocalize it, because our voices carry frequency and carry like sound waves,
Yeah.
it's really powerful because you put that out there. And the same as, if you can speak what it is that you want to bring into existence, you're physically putting it out there. And a lot of the time, I find people really struggle to say out loud what they want.
Yeah,
And if you can't say it to yourself, then how would you expect to live that? Because then everyone's going to know
right.
that that's your reality. So it's like the first step in almost practicing what it feels like to say it out loud and try it on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. All right. So if someone wanted to try this today,
Hmm.
what's one simple way that they could use AI, maybe even just chat GPT on their phone to create something that supports their mindset and or manifestation practice?
Yeah, so I'd say like if you love EFT, then go for that. But if not, you can just ask it to create like a meditation script or even just a script that you just listen to. Like it doesn't have to be meditation, it doesn't have to be like to relaxing music or anything. So I would say to before you go on ChatGPT, have a think about all the things that you want to attract, like what you want your ideal day to look like
Hmm.
if, in a dream world, but also where you still work and you still contribute, really get deep into that. I find it easier by thinking like life areas. So I'll think about like my business and then I'll think about my relationships and I'll think about my friendships and I'll think about my personal development. That can
Hmm.
help because then you'll make sure that you're covering kind of all bases. So
Mm.
think about all the wonderful things that you want to have. I would then amplify that. So see if you can go bigger. If
Hmm.
you can't, then ChatGPT can help you do that too. So
That's
you can then put all those things, say, right, ChatGPT or Chatty Man, as I call him. These are the things that I am looking to attract into my life. Can you 10x them, exaggerate them, take it even further, go bigger? Because the other thing that that does when you do go bigger is it sounds counterintuitive, but it'll actually quiet that voice in your head that goes, that's not possible for you.
hmm
Because it seems so, so far away when you've 10x'd it that actually, when you start to do the smaller steps that are going to get you to where you initially wanted to get to, it doesn't feel as scary to your ego and it's not going to hold you back as much.
Yeah,
So
that
it can
makes a
actually
lot.
help, which is really cool. And then ChatGPT will take all of that and you can just say, create me a script that I can record in my own voice that I can listen to on a daily basis that's going to help me get into this frequency of this being my reality.
Hmm. I love that advice. So easy to follow, so
Yeah,
simple.
very
And
simple.
then, yeah, again, ChatGPT is such a powerful tool to support you in this process. So
Yeah.
thank you for
And
sharing.
it's organizing your thoughts as well because I find, I can write scripts. I mean, I am a writer as well, but I find when you are thinking about all the things that you want to attract in so many different life areas, and then you go, right, I'm going to then turn that into a script that I'm going to listen to every day.
Hmm.
It's really hard to make it seamless without it being like, okay, I'm going to talk about my finances and then I'm going to talk about my relationships. It can feel disjointed, whereas ChatGPT will take that and it will literally just make it flow.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one thing I love about ChatGPT. I teach, you can take all of the thoughts in your brain that are very muddled and confused in that just stream of consciousness thought. So, like, you're going to a doctor's office, for example,
Mm.
all of the stuff that's on your mind, if it's something heavy, just
Yeah,
get it all out into ChatGPT and it will organize it for you. And so,
yeah,
this is just another wonderful example of how ChatGPT can support all of what's going on
yeah.
in your brain.
Which is often a lot and like very overwhelming as well. And then the
Yeah.
lovely thing when you then record that and you speak it is you might be reading it off the script, but you'll automatically change it into your own language or your own voice. If it's used words that you're like, I would never say that,
Yeah.
then you'll adjust it to sound like you, and that's where it's really powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. That's such a cool idea. I love that.
Give it a go.
Yeah, I am actually. It's funny because as you're talking, I'm like, okay, I need to do this. I've been doing
Have a play.
mirror work. A
Ooh,
couple business friends of mine and I, we formed this little group this summer and we've been working on mirror work is one of the
mm,
many things we're doing. And I'm
love
like,
that.
oh, I know how I can use this now.
Yes, love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You can just like speak it then when you're doing your mirror work as well.
Yeah, and well, and going back to like the power of your voice,
Mm,
I'm going to be honest, I haven't been super consistent with doing mirror work every single day, but even just the few times that I have done it,
Mm.
I'm already seeing progress from that. And you're right. It's your voice is so powerful. And
Yeah.
so speaking to yourself and hearing your own voice in these things it's a really powerful tool
Yeah.
and so simple.
Yeah. And it's free. It is
Yeah,
free for you to speak and use your own voice.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
All the best things, right?
Yeah, for sure. If when
Uh,
you're doing your mirror work, do you speak into your left eye? Like, do you look into your left eye as you do it?
oh,
That's a
I
little
mean,
hack. If you've not tried that, when you look in the mirror, look into your left eye, and
okay.
it triggers like the corresponding part of your brain, so it'll pay attention more.
Oh, okay. I
Really
did.
clever.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I think I
Yeah.
honestly kind of like go back and forth because I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't look at them both, you know?
Yeah. It can feel awkward as well at first, can't it? Because like I'm staring at myself in the
Yeah, yeah.
mirror. Where do I look? But yeah, if you
Right.
focus on your left eye,
Okay. Great tip. Thank you. I appreciate
you're
that.
welcome.
Oh, so I have to ask, do you have a favorite AI tool that boosts your own productivity?
Ooh. I would probably say because I work with like the seasonal energy, like I work with like the witch's wheel of the year and the seasons, but also like my own energetic cycle and the lunar cycle.
Hmm.
Something I found really helpful, and I'll do this each month, especially if my cycle changes as well and like the dates change and things. I
Yeah.
will put that information into ChatGPT, or I will also complement it with like the new moon dates, the full moon dates, and like what's going on like in terms of planetary stuff.
Mhm.
That's not essential. That's just because I like that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
then I will ask it to do like a productivity planner for me. So I will
Oh.
say to it like, so this month I've got to do X, Y, Z. I've got these projects coming up. I've got these events coming up that are on like set dates, or I'm promoting this in my business and I need to do, I don't know, reels for it, or I'm going to host a webinar at some point. These are my dates for my own cycle. These are the key planetary and moon dates.
Hmm.
Schedule my life for the month, please.
Oh, that's genius. I love
Yeah.
that.
It saves us sitting there going, okay, I've got all this stuff to do in like the next 4 weeks, and we start to get that overwhelm and that panic and going, okay, that's great. Let's try and do all of it at once. But,
Mm.
for like a week out of the month, you're maybe going to be feeling really tired, really lethargic. Another week out of the month, you're like superwoman and you're like, I can do double the
Mm.
amount in this week.
Yep.
And if you tell ChatGPT that, it will adjust it. So I think it was yesterday or the day before, like I just batch like all my reels
Hmm.
because I'm in my phase where like podcasts. So I'm doing podcasts this week because I'm in my phase where I am more than happy to chat all day.
Yeah, yeah.
So I will schedule them intentionally for during that time.
Yeah, that's so
It just
smart.
flows.
And, obviously you're tapping into your own energy levels. That's so
Mhm.
important. And
Yeah.
I think as women, we often, well, first of all, I don't think we were taught to do that for one.
No.
No. And so it often gets overlooked. Even when you start, getting into these circles where you hear about this, it's really easy to still just push it aside because, like, for me, for example, I'm a teacher.
Mhm.
I'm going back to work next week. So I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I have to get all this stuff done, and it's like, well, let's look at your energy level, Nicole. So
Yeah.
it's so smart to do that. And having Chat GPTs to support you in that is so helpful because trying to figure it all out on your own can be overwhelming as well. It's like one more
Yeah.
thing.
Absolutely. Like before ChatGPT, like that would take me like an entire day to like schedule out what I was going to do, or I would just do it week by week and kind of wing it a little bit. And
Hmm.
yeah, it'll take it like 2 minutes
Right. It's
and it's done.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. The speed in which this tool gets things done for us it's unprecedented. Like we've never
Yeah.
had access to a tool like this. And so
Right.
I'm always like, oh, it's so amazing.
Yeah. He's so clever.
It is. It is. Oh. Oh, so random question. So I heard you mention before you call it Chatman, is that right?
Yeah, chatty man.
I love that. I call it Chatty G.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and then a while ago I was feeling conversational with it. So I'm
Mm.
like, so I call you Chatty G, and its response was funny. It was like, well, that sounds like something, like some sort of mic drop situation. And then I'm like, okay, so if you could name yourself, if you could have any name, what would you name yourself? And it's like,
Mm.
I would call myself Nova. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
that's a that's a
okay.
cool name. So,
Fair. Okay. Yeah, I've
yeah.
never asked him what he wants to be called. I use Claude as well, which obviously is
Mhm.
just Claude because you've named yourself.
Right. I know, right? I know
You
ChatGPT
are
is such a
Claude.
weird name.
Yeah. Not sure where it came from, but yeah, I might ask it what does it want to be called?
Yeah, you should. It
See
because
what
I
he
know it'll
says.
give you a different answer.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh,
Fun.
all right. So, before we wrap up, on the Positively Joyful Productivity Show, we align with joy. So, Victoria, I would love to hear what is one thing that you do for yourself that brings you joy.
Oh, that's a very, very good question. My cat has just walked across the room, so
I
I'm
saw
going to
the
mention
shadow.
them. So, for sure, my cats bring me joy. So, snuggling a pet is an instant way for joy.
Hmm.
But on a deeper level, I think just remembering that we are human beings, not human doings.
Yes.
And it's something that took me a really long time to kind of like instill as a reminder. But if I catch myself and I'm getting wrapped up in doing, I will just pause and be like, right, what do I want to be being instead? And whatever comes through me at that moment, it's going to bring me joy because it's coming from a soul level and it's coming from like my heart, it's coming from a much more beautiful, relaxed space, shall we
Hmm.
say, and it's
Yeah.
guaranteed to bring me joy. And if for any reason that I really struggle to connect to that space, I call it a smile file,
Okay.
and it's got like a pleasure menu in it, which sounds very raunchy, and it's not. It can be if you want it to be. But on there, it's like a menu of things that I know make me happy.
Mm.
And they are, I'd say about 95% of the things on that list are free. So you can do
Mhm.
them at any time, no matter what's going on for you, like financially. And when you're in that space and you're like either overwhelmed or just not feeling great,
Mhm.
but you're like, I know I need to do something to get out of this funk, but you can't access something that's going to shift that energy.
Yeah.
This little menu is basically things that will elevate me to either a neutral position so that I can just get myself back on like an even keel, even if it's not, sunshine and rainbows, it shifts me to neutral, or it's
Mhm.
going to elevate me a little bit higher. So I'd say, yeah, make yourself a little pleasure menu.
Yeah, that's so interesting you bring that up because I don't remember if I did. It was a newsletter maybe. I don't know. It was quite a while ago, but
Mm.
I call it the joy menu.
Oh, I
So,
love that.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
same thing,
Similar
but
vibe. Yeah, absolutely. Because we can forget. And
yeah.
it sounds silly, doesn't it? Like, how can you forget what's going to bring you joy? But if you're in a moment where you're so far detached from it,
Hmm.
it's easy to just keep going and spiral into that moment. Whereas if you can go, right, what's on the menu?
Yeah,
Let me
exactly.
pick something, pick up a cat.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh, well, Victoria, this has been such a fun and enlightening conversation. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on the podcast today. I so appreciate you being here. And to my listeners, if they want to find you on social media, where are you?
So I am on Facebook and Instagram. I'm kind of like working my way into TikTok slowly. So
Ah,
you will find me on there as well, but I'm under Victoria Quance on all of them and I can give you my links as well so people can just click and find me. But yeah, I would love to connect to new people that have listened to this. That would be awesome.
excellent. Perfect. So, yes, your socials will be linked in the show notes below. So, to my audience, go show Victoria some love on Insta and Facebook and TikTok. And all right, I think that's going to wrap it up for today. So, Victoria, thank you
Amazing.
so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. And to my listeners, have a beautiful week ahead, and I will chat with you next week.